Hi everybody, thank you for tuning in to the weather forecast here at the First Alert Desk, here to bring you a check of evening weather. And with this particular way that we're bringing you the forecast, you can chat and ask your weather questions, address any weather comments, concerns that you have. A lot of weather to talk about here over the next several days. I want to remind you we are coming to you live on many platforms right now, including on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, YouTube TV. We're live in the Atlanta News First app, the Atlanta News First Alert weather app, as well as at atlantanewsfirst.com. If you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, though, probably one of the best places to reach me, Atlanta News First on Facebook. Already some folks saying, hey, appreciate the viewership again. Welcome in. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. We're not only live on Facebook, Atlanta News First, as you just saw. Also, though, we are live on YouTube. I was starting to notice some folks kind of filing in virtually, so to speak, and so far no questions, but monitoring Facebook, monitoring YouTube, both accounts, Atlanta News First. Just give it a search, give us a follow, and you'll be pinged, you'll be alerted to when we are live, not just today, but any day. And that's one way that you can be alerted to not only the live forecast, but another way to watch the forecast and maybe get clarification on any weather questions you have coming up. Let's go ahead and dive in now. We're gonna get an alert out to the Atlanta News First app here shortly. Should be arriving in people's phones, so we'll probably have a little surge in folks joining the weather conversation. But we'll start with just what's happening outside right now, and it's drying out despite it being so gloomy still across metro Atlanta, much of North Georgia. The more steady rain, the puddle making rains have pushed east of metro Atlanta. Now we're just left with some low clouds, maybe a little bit of drizzle, a spritz or two, but the more legitimate rain has pushed east of the metro Atlanta area and will continue to dry out gradually here over the next few hours. Again, on Atlanta News First, the Facebook page, hello to you, Clark, Vanessa, hello Denise, thank you for watching. Kimberly, Edward, hello to you, and appreciate the viewership, everybody watching in. Current temperatures right now that we've established we're drying out a little bit, not really warming up at all though. Temperatures are cold. Right now we're back in the mid 40s, mid to upper 40s, metro Atlanta, not too much cooler than we were before sunset, but I do think we will get some chillier air filtering in by the early hours of tomorrow morning. 47 East Point at the airport. 47 Atlanta, 47 Sandy Springs, Dallas as well, 48 in southeast Cobb. Woodstock at 46, and expanding the view here, notice where the cooler temperatures are. That's going to be, pretty typical for this time of year. We have a little bit of an easterly flow, some of that cold air kind of wedging up and down the Appalachian Mountains. So we have a little surge of chilly air here right around the Atlanta metro and then points north and east. So coldest upstate of South Carolina into northeast Georgia, then on up into the Piedmont of North Carolina. You get south and west of town, we're still 51 LaGrange, 50 even up in Rome, Chattooga County as well, right around 50 degrees. But the winds will switch northwesterly, and we will have some colder air start filtering in by sunrise tomorrow, if not a little earlier. So out the door tomorrow morning, we'll go ahead and jump over to that forecast. Make sure you are wearing your winter coat because you will need it. Not only are temperatures forecast to be pretty chilly, but factoring in the wind, it's going to feel even colder. Again, current temperatures in the 40s, but tomorrow morning, mid to upper 30s. Dalton, Rome, Canton, Carrollton, 34 in Blairsville with that breeze factored in out of the northwest, 10 to 15. As you step out the door, it'll feel in those communities, generally north and west of 85, like it's in the 20s. So heavy winter coat, a good idea tomorrow. 39 in Atlanta for a low temperature. LaGrange, Griffin, Covington, about the same, maybe 40, 41. Gainesville down to Athens as that chilly air works its way in. But also keep in mind that it is going to feel chillier with that breeze. So morning commute forecast tomorrow, the low clouds you see on our sky cam now, I think they're still there for most in the morning, though gradually clearing, get peaks of sun by late morning into the afternoon. Temperature is at their coolest, 6:30 to 7:30 or so, 30s to near 40, feeling like upper 20s to near 30. While it's not going to be a sunny day tomorrow, it is tomorrow afternoon that we're watching for a little bit more sunshine to enter the picture. Upper 40s to right around 50 on the southwest side of town. Hello to you, Valerie, on Facebook, Atlanta News First, the account we're streaming on. Michael Baxter as well, hello to you. Live streaming on YouTube, hello, Krishna Chaitanya. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. If I didn't, I apologize. Waving right back at you on YouTube. Again, thank you for tuning in and for watching this digital kind of streaming check of the First Alert forecast. What makes this unique is not only can we expand on all the weather that there is going on around the area, but we can converse. If you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, maybe you have plans coming up this weekend, I can answer your questions and maybe address your particular plan, something that we can't always do as easily if you're watching on TV, for example. But again, back to the forecast tomorrow, upper 40s to near 50, so it's a chilly day. Factoring in the wind, though, that's what really makes it chilly tomorrow. 51 in Decatur, Atlanta, 47 in Marietta, Sandy Springs, 48 in Alpharetta. Gwinnett and DeKalb counties, temperatures in the upper 40s, and I think we will see peaks of sunshine. Not a sunny day, not a completely cloudy day, but there will be a lot of clouds. Temperatures peaking in the upper 40s with those peaks of sun most likely late afternoon on into the evening, right before sunset, and then tomorrow evening the sky really clears out and that cold air filters in. So as we look at that forecast, kind of breaking down your Wednesday, notice how we're already back in the upper 40s by 5 p.m. and verging on upper 30s by 10 p.m. So it's a quicker cool down tomorrow evening versus this evening as that clearer sky takes hold. The colder air filters back into North Georgia, metro Atlanta. Notice that northwest direction pulling in some really chilly air. So the stage is set for a really cold morning on our Thursday morning. Temperatures back in the upper 20s, lower 30s. And this is a look at the risk to your garden, your plants here over the next several days, mainly in reference to the sensitive stuff here. You know, your coleus and maybe some of the ferns that are a little bit more sensitive. Those type of plants, the things that you're typically always protecting this time of year if you haven't already put them in the greenhouse. These are the plants we're talking about right here. And notice how Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, even Monday night, Tuesday night, we at least have it in the threshold of needing to cover those plants, if not expect them to get some good burn and die off. If you don't put them in the greenhouse, move them into the garage, or cover them pretty heavily, you're going to lose those really sensitive ones here over the next several days as an abnormally cold air mass settles into North Georgia, metro Atlanta. It is November. Typically we're in the upper 30s, 40s this time of year, but we're talking upper 20s and 30s the next several mornings. Really, that cold air is kind of settling in Wednesday night into Thursday. That's when the really chilly stuff begins to settle in. So as I pull up that 7-day forecast, just keep that in mind. We have not just 1, 2, or 3 days of cold weather, but a decent stretch here. You know, it's already been chilly for the past couple days. Tomorrow morning chilly, and tomorrow afternoon chilly rather, and then just downright cold. Thursday, despite the sunshine, we're only warming into the mid to upper 40s. We'll try to get to the lower 50s Friday and Saturday afternoons. That's in Atlanta, mind you. That means some areas, especially the north side of town on up into the mountains, probably staying in the 40s all day long Thursday. But 52 Friday, 52 Saturday, again, in the city. So 40s those afternoons too, many areas north of town. And then even Atlanta back down in the 40s, colder again as it is written there for Sunday. As a fresh batch of really cold air kind of sits in Canada. It's bottled up for a little bit and then it sinks southward and the dam breaks, so to speak, and that cold air really begins to sink southward over the next several days. That second batch arriving late Saturday into Sunday. Notice how even Atlanta back in the 20s next Monday morning. So that means the far north side, you know, Canton area on up into the mountains. You all will be in the maybe the low to mid 20s, hard freeze territory there by next Monday morning. Chatting with Valerie on Facebook saying, I think I'll hibernate until spring. I get you. There is some good news though. If you hate the cold air, maybe a little bit of a warm up as we get closer to the Thanksgiving holiday, but also could come with a greater chance of rain, showers, and thunderstorms across the southeast. As we time out that warm up, we may have our next storm system actually approach the south and southeast from the west once again. Sounds familiar, right? And could spread a greater chance of rain, showers, and thunderstorms across much of North Georgia, much of the south, both the I-10, the I-20 corridors on up into the mid-Atlantic. Obviously, that could impact travel, the major hubs, but it's just a possibility. And a reminder, another place you can get that forecast, in fact, looking out 10 days here, AtlantaNewsFirst.com. Just click on First Alert Weather, and then you see Fred's forecast from the news earlier this evening, clipped and put there, as well as the forecast written in text, if that's how you prefer to get your weather information. And then just a little bit below that, click on 10-day. And you can see here, we're all the way out to Thanksgiving now. Highs in the 50s, lower 60s, with that chance of rain building in, and maybe some cold air trying to filter back in for Black Friday and then especially the weekend after Thanksgiving. So an overall cold to chilly to cool weather pattern. If there is any warm weather there, it's going to be relatively brief right around the Thanksgiving holiday, but it will come most likely with more clouds and an increasing chance of showers and thunderstorms ahead of the next kind of blast of cold air. And again, chatting on Facebook right now with folks on the Atlanta News First page, Tessie Lee, Valerie Lee Comp, Michael Baxter, hello to you, Denise Clark Manessa. Appreciate the viewership, all the feedback, any weather questions, comments, concerns that you may have. We'll be live for a couple more minutes on YouTube, Atlanta News First, also that account name on Facebook. And we'll kind of pull up that 7-day forecast once again. Notice how it's not just 1 or 2 days of chilly air. We're talking several days of cold weather, and I can show you why here as we pull up our forecast map. Basically, the jet stream has more or less buckled, and there is a big dip in the jet stream across the United States, much of North America, in fact. And you can see here, clear as day, that cold air is all the way down into the southern plains, even parts of the southwest. And then that little dip in the jet stream begins to pick back north and eastward across the southeast. You see it's a little warmer in Savannah right now. They're ahead of this front. Not too cold in Charlotte, not too cold in Atlanta, but it's certainly not warm. But we're going to see some of these colder values up to our north plunge southward and southeastward. That really arrives later tomorrow into Thursday. That second batch, all these pinks up in Canada, that'll arrive on our Sunday into next Monday, hence why it gets colder yet again. In fact, we could see the coldest temperatures of this entire little cold wave and cold period of weather arriving in the weekend. We may have to even lower those temperatures a little bit further. Trenton Martin, hello to you on Atlanta News First Facebook page, commenting there. Thanks for always watching. Waving right back at you. Have a great evening. And again, if you ever have any weather questions, comments, concerns, one way you can get the weather information, that forecast is in the Atlanta News First Alert Weather app. Even if you're on the go, you're away from the TV, you can get the forecast there. I'm going to go ahead and pull up that 7-day, but a reminder, you can get the 10-day outlook in the Atlanta News First Alert Weather app, and it's dominated by cold air in the forecast. Pulling up that 7-day, notice how long the chill lasts. Again, several days. If you love the chilly weather, this is your week to 10 days. A lot of it on the way here over the next several days. And again, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, you can always find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Cutter Martin, Cuttermartin, whether it's about the cold or any other aspect of our local forecast. Again, the highlight, though, of that work week, cold weather is ahead. The rest of the work week and on into the weekend, even the start, if not the middle and end of next week, still looking relatively cool, though may try to warm up a little bit closer to Thanksgiving. We're talking about that and the chance of rain and storms that may come with that warm up on Atlanta News First at 6 p.m. Also have that online for you, the 10-day forecast, atlantanewsfirst.com, and in the Atlanta News First Alert Weather app. Want to thank you for watching, reminding you that we will be live here in just a little bit on Atlanta News First at 9 p.m. Also the 10 p.m. hour, First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Campania. We'll be handing it off to him. He'll have also some new data coming in this evening. Maybe needing to adjust the temperatures just a little bit, maybe lower them, in fact. We'll be breaking down that data for you coming up tonight on Atlanta News First at 11 p.m. Have yourself a wonderful evening. I'll leave you with a look at that 7-day forecast. And if we don't see you at 9, 10, or 11, remember, forecast is always available at atlantanewsfirst.com and in the Atlanta News First Alert Weather app.